Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode. It is a sort of beautiful April day. It's a little rainy. It's been rainy. It's the day after the eclipse. So if you were here, you didn't get to see the eclipse because it was all super cloudy, but it was still kind of dark. And, we still kind of got a little bit of it, wouldn't you say, Brian?
Yeah, I think the sun kind of set midday.
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. I was a little disappointed. We bought the glasses and all that, but we didn't get to see it.
Gotcha.
But I'm super excited. Like, that's done. I'm super excited to hang out with my friend and let the listeners get to know Brian Mullin, Snake Charmer Tattoo Artist Extraordinaire, and now a Johnson City resident. He actually has bought a house here with me, people, and it was really just a huge blessing. And so I'm excited to reconnect with you and learn about what you're doing here. So
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hear you're a podcast pro. You've done it a lot of times.
So many times.
Yeah, so this will be old hat for you.
Can't even count how many.
I know, right? And so you're gonna tear it up. So Johnson City Living Podcast. We always ask the same question starting out. And you've been here how long now? A year and a half?
No, a little longer than that. I think just over 2 years now.
2 years, okay. And so what is your favorite thing now about Johnson City?
Knew this is the first question.
Yeah.
Been planning, been prepping. Yeah. I think I've narrowed it down to location. We're far enough away from the city. Don't need to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Get a small town vibe, very nice, cozy. And then you get right next up to the wilderness and the mountains, which is right where I want to be.
Yeah. Well,
you're speaking
of kind of like where you guys live out off the Milligan Highway.
Yep, exactly. We're out by Milligan. So close to the Cherokee. I think it's close to Watauga, close to Nolichucky. It's close to everywhere.
Yeah.
So location, right?
Yeah.
It's always the best.
Do you guys get out into the wilderness?
We try to, yep. Locally and around, we're from the Pacific Northwest originally, so areas that we never thought we'd be. We were in Kentucky a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Never been to Kentucky before, so just
said, hey, we're going to go to Kentucky
and
today.
Explore.
Yeah. Yeah. You and Megan always seem to have that kind of explorer feel about you. I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah. Especially the move out this way, I think really started all that, because now we kind of can't get enough of it. So it's a great place to kind of centralize living, focus on family, small life, work, stuff like that, and then just kind of venture out from there for the time being.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember geography, but there's like the map of the United States, pretty big place. And you guys chose little Johnson City coming out from close to Seattle, right?
Yes, just outside of Seattle.
Just outside Seattle, and you made it 3,000 or
top left corner of the
like
US.
Almost as far. How did you choose Johnson City?
Hard one, really. Not really. Alex, my coworker, the owner of Snake Charmer, lived out this way. I visited a few times, guest spots, working out this way, and really fell in love with it. The couple times I went home and just told Megan, my wife, there's something special about this little area, and I can't put my finger on it, but I definitely got to go back. And I visited a few times before.
Did she come with you on the visits occasionally, or
she came on?
Or did she take a leap of faith with you?
After I came home one time, and I said, "I think we should move." We booked a trip to come out so I could show her. She felt the same exact way. Came out another time, scoped a couple places to see where we can move to, and then we just up and left. Yeah, it was a good opportunity to just try something new in our lives.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. Now, where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Southern California. Okay. I don't really claim residency. I was raised in Washington.
Okay. So born there, moved pretty early.
Parents moved me when I was a teenager, went to high school up in Washington. Megan was born and raised Bremerton, Washington.
Okay.
So this is really just kind of venturing away from everything and anyone we ever knew, just out on our own, kind of see where it takes us.
See where it goes. I love it. I love it. Okay, so what are some of the other things you love about Johnson City besides just the location and the feel?
I love the barbecue. The barbecue's been great. That's something that Seattle has its great food, but barbecue is one that's
lacking.
It's always from someplace like here. So to come to a place like here, barbecue's killer.
Let's go down the list real quick while you're at it. What's your top barbecue spot?
I like Southern Craft.
Yeah.
I like Red Pig. Red Pig's my little hidden spot.
It is a great spot.
Never really that busy in there, but to me it's quick, easy.
And their
lunch.
ribs are fantastic. They do have a great product. We used to grow up going there, and a friend of mine's dad, Tom Carr, used to own it and run it, and he'd always be there shaking people's hands. And now the new guy, Melvin, he's the owner, and he's great too. So I need to get him on the podcast. That'd be good. All right, so Southern Craft, Red Pig. You got any other spots you like?
Project Barbecue.
Oh man,
yeah.
I just saw Alex the other day, and he said he wanted to get back on the podcast, Mitch. So we're going to do that.
Yeah, those guys
Barbecue, they're
crushing it. I had them when they were just the food truck here in town.
Yeah.
When I came out to visit, and was
now
excited that
now they've got a brick and mortar, and they opened a second one close to you guys.
Yep,
I haven't been to that one. Have you been over there?
Nope, not yet. I'm trying to get in there
for
breakfast.
Sounds like we could go to lunch
Their breakfast tacos look good.
I had one of those brisket tacos the other day from. It was unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable. What do you and Megan like to do for fun here in Johnson City?
Go hiking. Go out. Get out to the lakes, the water.
You guys got some dogs, right?
We got a couple dogs. Yep.
How are they doing? Are they acclimating to East Tennessee?
It took Oliver, our border collie Aussie. He's got a lot of hair. He did not like the first summer. He weighed and did absolutely nothing. But since then, we've gotten him on a paddleboard. He hates the water, but the paddleboard is just fine for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but he just likes being around us. He's a herding dog, so as long as his people are around him,
he's good.
He's set. Yeah,
that's cool.
So just getting out to the water. Really, coming from the coast, thought it might be landlocked here, but it doesn't feel that way if you get out there.
Yeah, we got a big lake.
Big lakes, lots of rivers.
Yeah, lots of
all
stuff.
the swimming holes.
Some cold water, if you want to find it. There's up in the
Pretty
mountains.
cold. Yep.
Have you been up to Blue Hole?
I've been to Blue Hole. Yes, beautiful.
It's never warm. Like, I don't know where that water comes from. I think it's coming out of like a glacier, underground glacier. I think is where it comes from. I remember freezing as a kid doing it, and every time I've been, it's always cold. Okay, so let's talk about what you do for a living. You are a tattoo artist, right?
Yes, sir.
That would be the correct term?
Tattoo artist, tattooer, tattooist.
Tattooist.
Many different names.
But not the little dude on, what was it, Fantasy Island tattoo. Not him. It's a plane. Oh man, that was such a good show. They don't make them like that anymore. Okay, so what was your first job?
My first job. What was my first
ever.
job? First job ever.
Before we get into
Grocery store.
Grocery store.
Yeah.
Bagger.
Yeah. Basic. 16 years old.
Great
day
job.
I turned 16.
Yeah,
I
stock
started
boy,
working.
bagger. Good, hard, earnest work.
Totally.
There you go. I love it. Okay, and then
from there, got into cars, mechanics, auto body.
Yeah, that's right, because you have like motorcycles and stuff.
I got a couple of motorcycles.
How's the basement garage coming along?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great for that. Yeah, and it stays nice and cool during the hot summer, so I get to keep working on that thing and take them out, rip around town in them.
That's fun. That's awesome.
So yeah, just automotive, painting cars, a lot of stuff like that.
Where'd you learn that? Did you just pick it up?
Just out of high school. One of my roommates was painting cars, and got me a job with one of my homies who was a body tech, and I learned under him for a while. This was right out of high school, 2007, because 2008 hit and things got sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah, the market shifted a little bit in 2008. Job market tightened up a little bit.
Yep.
Money disappeared. So, well, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. So you go from grocery clerk to mechanic stuff, and then you became a tattoo artist.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Now, were you extremely arty, like an artsy kid when you were growing up? Like you were the one, I'm drawing stick figures, and you're over there like really just killing it.
I got in trouble way back when for things I probably shouldn't. And luckily I had supportive parents. They actually would speak up for me, saying one day this could be a masterpiece. So it's nice to actually be a professional
maybe you shouldn't
artist.
be on the side of a bridge or whatever.
Usually on desks.
Oh, there you go.
Right on the top of the desk.
Gotcha. We have a tunnel near us where lots of young aspiring artists like to try and make designs, and they aren't. I'm not too impressed yet.
Yeah.
So you went from drawing on your desk to drawing on people's bodies? How did that jump happen? Because I'm like, I don't know how that happens.
I think it was just where I was brought up. Skate parks, punk rock music, kind of faster paced lifestyle, really stick it to the parents kind of deal.
Down with the man.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
right.
Absolutely. And that's just kind of where how it went into. I started getting tattoos, and that's what started it. I was always an artist.
How old were you when you got your first tattoo? Because you
19.
got some great art on you.
Yeah, I got a lot. Not much more to go. The goal is just to get down to one, I think.
That's cool. Or they're all interconnected kind of
Hopefully.
thing. Yeah.
God, what was the question?
I think I was asking about how you went from artist on paper or, that media over to...
So yeah, just growing up at skate parks, seeing certain imagery. I've been an artist my whole life. So it was either the college art route, which is I think where my parents preferred me to grow. And I gave it a shot, but didn't get any acceptance. And
then the path from there is where? Like you're going to teach school and be an art teacher potentially? Unless you're like a graphic designer maybe?
And I wasn't into school. I didn't do well in school. I was skipping school. So to find a way I could draw more risque stuff and it actually sell. I always often viewed fine art as sell a $50,000 painting once a year. There's your income, and that just seemed horrifying to live off of. So
one sale,
making money day to day is a lot better. I really enjoy working for myself as opposed to any job that I've ever had. That's the biggest perk by it so far. Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been a tattooist?
Professional, 7 years.
Okay.
I did a 2.5-year apprenticeship, so if you throw that in there.
Is there like a credentialing and that kind of thing, or like?
Depends on where. Depends on where you're learning. I know Tennessee has a couple health state stuff that you have to get them involved with just to become an apprentice. The way I was pretty much just kind of, I started hanging out at a shop that I really wanted to apprentice at is how that actually occurs, and just getting a lot of tattoos, showing an interest in it. I really didn't think that I didn't know I wanted to be a tattooer until I got tattoos.
Yeah.
And then just getting on their good side, I guess, letting them.
So at this shop, were there some guys who mentored you?
Yes, I had a mentor in general, but pretty much everyone in the shop is kind of mentors.
Who was the main guy that
His name's Thomas Pendleton.
Okay.
He's got really good history.
What's the name of his shop?
He's had a few of them. The shop I apprenticed at was Peninsula Rose Tattoo.
Okay.
I was in Silverdale, Washington.
Yeah.
And he's got really good history. It goes all the way back to original Long Beach, California tattooing. Some of the original California tattooers are who he was brought up under. So it's an honor to be under that.
Yeah.
I think lineage in tattooing holds, especially traditional tattooing, we hold that very close to us. And important to kind of keep things how they should in this crazy industry.
I have no clue about tattooing. So and I don't know, I'm sure maybe our listeners are like me, maybe there are a lot of them that are all tatted up and they're looking great. I just have no clue about it. So tell me about it. Tell me about tattoos. You said there's like a California tattoo. Are there other kind of veins and feels and?
I equated it to history the other day. There is so much history in it. Going back to as ancient as old time Japan.
Yeah. Is that where it kind of started, do you think? Do they have a history?
First man they ever found, I don't remember what his name is, who dug him up under some ice. He has tattoos. So
like Harley Davidson stuff, or
yeah, probably. Yeah. Some barbed wire.
Yeah, there's a little barbed wire. He probably had a super cool dragon, maybe.
I think it was actually like a deer or some kind of pagan symbolism way back when. I mean, it's on the first guy they ever found. It's as ancient as time.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's an honor to be a part of in that manner. So, what do you want to know about it?
Well, so then, so like, let's say somebody's thinking about getting a tattoo.
Okay.
What are some of the steps there? Like, hey, one, how do you find, like, this is, maybe we should digress. All right. How do you overcome the fear? Like, I hear it hurts.
It does.
It's permanent.
It is.
I think one of my friends was saying, what does it look like when you're old, right?
Who cares?
Who cares? I love it. What are some of the objections you hear? Oh, it's costly, right? It's not cheap.
It's not.
So
Especially...
I'm throwing all the objections at you.
Oh, yeah, no. Especially professional grade tattooing. We're in a shop. We pay a rent. We pay a percentage.
Right.
So we pay to go to work. My tools and my supplies are not cheap.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really question getting permanent procedures with a doctor.
Correct. For sure.
So,
no, and I'm not.
But
I'm
we
not
don't work with
questioning.
Insurance.
Right.
It's really good. I tell everyone, go artist shopping. Look for the right artist. Pain and price, they're a part of it. Just forget about it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be there.
Yeah. So you go to different shops and you're looking at, like, do they have pictures of actual tattoos on people? Or because in my mind, I'm looking through a catalog of images that I'd like to have on me potentially.
Most shops are going to have examples.
And then they're going to
definitely have a portfolio, or a lot of us are on Instagram. Our work's online.
Right, there you go.
Everything's been working online, so that's keeps it updated. I can finish a tattoo and within minutes post it up and let people know if I also have availability at that time too, whatever. So following your tattooer online is where you're going to find when they have time, what they're interested in doing, stuff like that, and get to see how their tattoos progress over time, and you can kind of follow the history if you just keep scrolling,
Yeah. Yeah. So then so first thing you would say would be to
go find an artist.
The artist.
Find a good artist.
Find a good artist.
Make sure you like
much
what
like
they're
yourself
doing.
at Snake Charmer Tattoo.
Yeah.
Just up here on South Roan Street.
Just
above,
up the hill from here.
Just by Open Doors Coffee Shop. Mm-hmm. That's one of the only places in town to do it. And then, so once you've identified the artist, what's the next process?
I say go into the shop and talk to him personally. It's a very personal experience. It's special for people, It's not going anywhere. It can't be lost, broken, or stolen. That's
true.
the other thing about cost. It's an investment.
There you go.
Pay to get good work.
Love it.
That way you don't have to fix it later down on the line.
This is true.
Get cover-ups, get laser treatment, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So searching for a good artist and saving whatever you need to do. We're willing to work with budgets. But typically I ask, you just tell me what you want and I'm going to help you get what you want, because it ain't going nowhere. So I like doing custom work or working with their designs, my designs, stuff like that. And most artists are going to work with it. But as long as you come into the shop, that's really where you're going to start the conversations. We get to see where you're trying to put it, have a consultation, usually on the spot. Doesn't take long, and then you can book an appointment, or if you're ready, get one right off the wall.
Just jump in and get after it.
Yeah, we got flash designs up on our walls, hand-painted designs that we work on as a crew to try and advertise, and just kind of, if you're not sure what you want that day, these are what we like doing. So if you want something that's just cool, typically we'll have something that's pretty cool for you.
That's cool. Yeah, so you could just jump right in. Mm-hmm. But if you're planning it out, and like you mentioned too, you could do your own. Like if you're saying, okay, I want this. This is significant to me. This, this maybe image or. I mean, are you doing can you do people's faces and stuff? I know I see a lot of loved ones and those
don't do photorealistic tattooing, so that's another thing that we can get into, or different styles of tattooing, and that not every artist is going to be able to do a lot of different styles. Some are going to be very in their own niche. Some are going to be really well-rounded. Just really all depends. And until you kind of talk to them and go look at their work is really when you'll kind of be able to put that together for yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. And how do you price it out? Is it by the image kind of thing, like the square inchage, square footage?
It can be.
I'm like talking real estate stuff. Is it about a square foot over there? Yeah.
It kind of real estate.
No, it's about a square inch, maybe.
Arms and legs are usually easy to get, so they're easy to tattoo.
Gotcha.
So the price is usually going to be a little less.
A little less on an arm or a leg.
I advertise by the hour.
Okay.
Pretty standard, $150 an hour.
Okay.
And that's only tattoo time. That's not the time I'm taking to draw your image, which is probably the night before while I'm at home with family, kind of neglecting
just
them.
Hanging out, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of watching
TV. I got
TV.
an interesting one tomorrow,
yeah.
Megan. We got to do Colin. He wants like a hot dog man running around on his leg.
Hot dog man, let's do it.
I don't even know where that came from, Okay, so you draw out the image, and then so let's say that you want to put on a rose or something on somebody's arm, and time-wise, it's a couple hours, I'm assuming. I don't know. How long does it take, kind of? Depends on the intricacy and the size of it.
Yeah, exactly. Mild to wild. We start at about $100 minimum is where you want something really, really as small as we can possibly go, which it's always wise to listen to your tattooer about that. Tattoos that are too small don't really age that well. And a professional should know an appropriate size and line weight. There's lots of variables. There's more variables in this industry than I have ever had in multiple different fields that I've kind of dabbled in.
Yeah.
And it's goes by the individual, which again come in.
But average probably couple $300, $400.
Yeah,
just depends.
I'm usually always right around. I like giving a $200 to $300 range. Okay. That gives me more than an hour. And then if it takes less than an hour, I can deduct cost for you. You know, give you the surprise, not me the surprise.
Gotcha.
And then everyone ends up happy.
All right, so I've got my tattoo. Let's talk about pain a little bit. Does it hurt a lot?
It does.
Okay.
Different areas hurt different.
More tender, like because you got thinner skin. Like if you do an ankle or an ear or something that's very,
Some spots are almost painless. Some spots are, I'll put the excruciating word out there, especially depending on how long you've been getting tattooed.
Okay.
I got one just the other day in a very high pain index area. And it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, but that's because I've been tattooed in worse areas. I can compare it.
Sure.
First tattoos, you're not really going to know what to compare it to, so just go for it. Get it where you want.
You've got a lot of tattoos. They look cool. I would think fingers would be high pain area.
These fingers are new, and they weren't as bad as in between the fingers. That's what got me. Yeah, that spot was.
You're like
that gave me a face. Yeah. My whole back is done, and that's been a big journey, and it's on the very high pain index scale.
The back.
For me. Yeah, lower back and lower than back. Very difficult to handle. And I think a lot of it's being in a vulnerable position.
Sure.
Face down on a table.
And you're like, okay, this is not comfortable just to begin with, and then to try. But you got to trust your friends. Who
you got to trust your artist. I would again go find an artist, go talk to them, kind of work with them. If you can trust them, you're going to end up with the best tattoos. I think that.
Now, have you done any of your own tattoos?
I haven't.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if I didn't know if that's doable. Yeah.
No, you don't.
Some guys
I definitely could.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it, but I don't know if you could be like, this hurts. This hurts.
I have a lot of friends in the industry, and I'm always meeting new people who are just blowing my mind with their art, and I don't want to put my own stuff on me. I'd rather get their cool stuff put on me.
I got
support them,
Right.
Plus it seems to focus under that kind of pain.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. So, and I think neck would hurt. Like, I'm just thinking about different spots. And
closer.
So you said
I'd
the
say
goal
the
is to
closer
be one.
into
So do you want to be
center.
full?
I do. I want to be completely covered.
Because like
no face. I'm not into face.
Yeah, I think that would hurt.
I think
a
my
lot
mom will
too.
be happy to hear that. That I
Right.
for right now, I'm fine with leaving my face alone.
Yeah.
I still do enjoy being able to hide my tattoos a bit.
Okay. When you need to,
I mean,
or
it's getting less and less the more and more deeper I get into tattooing,
Right.
But I think there's something to be said to be, a lot of people are getting outer extremities done when a lot of the inner stuff, it's more painful, but it is more personal and more of the true tattoo experience. And you don't have to live with regret that necessarily that way.
Right. What about like a sedative? Do you guys give anybody like anything to
Not really.
relax a little bit? Or?
Not really.
Okay.
I got a couple of little things that help. Just little topical lidocaine kind of things, but they just kind of help keep the spiciness off for a little bit.
You tell people to have a drink or two before they come in to relax a little bit?
If you want to come.
How many drunk tattoos do you do?
Quite a bit.
Okay.
I mean, I get tattooed when I've been drinking a little bit
you're
too.
Like, hey, let's do another one.
Yeah, definitely. It's painful. You need a little bit of courage to get into it.
And you're
going to be there a while too.
That's true.
For some of them.
I think that would be the way to go. Yeah. Yeah. What would you tell people who are maybe on the fence about it, right? Because for me, it would be a little intimidating to go to a shop and just jump into the whole process. And so what do you tell people like who are thinking about their first one just to get in there and get
It can be super intimidating. And I think that that's why me and my crew that we work up there, we try to be as welcoming and as knowledgeable as we can to sort of ask questions, you know. We're happy to answer. We're happy to walk you through processes, stuff like that. We really have nothing to hide. It's all out there for you in the open.
And you are a super good dude. Like I would, if I was going to get a tattoo, I'm going to be like, I think Brian is the guy because you've got a great heart. Like you just are super nice. So I'd be like, I want somebody who's going to,
because I think it's important in a role to be like this. It's been, you know, frowned upon for a long, long time, and it is in certain areas of the world still. And to look tough and seem tough, but to hold the door open for the old ladies is important. You know, we're people. We love puppies.
We love puppies and butterflies. And,
exactly.
And we tattoo them on people all the time.
We just happen to give ourselves extraordinarily amounts of pain, but
is it kind of like you don't trust don't trust a skinny chef? You shouldn't trust a tattoo artist that doesn't have any tattoos?
I don't think I would.
Yeah. Do all your guys in the office?
Everyone has tattoos. Yeah. I'm seeing more and more tattooers without tattoos, and it's weird to me. Yeah. You don't even know what it's like. Yeah. You know, and if you're saying that you love it, why do you love it?
Don't trust a realtor that doesn't own a house, maybe something like that, or hadn't sold one yet.
Totally.
Yeah, I get it.
They should know what they're doing.
They should know.
And a big way of learning that is going to other artists, getting tattoos by other artists. You know, I seek out good artists. I want good work myself, but it's also an opportunity for me to watch them and see how they do what they're doing, without directly asking them, "Hey, how do you do?" Because you know, we all got our secrets.
They're like, you walk in, they're like, okay, this guy knows what people should do. They may not know you're a tattoo artist yourself.
And I may or may not tell them.
How many different artists have you had put images on your body? I mean, is there any clue? I mean, like, do you have
over a dozen.
Okay.
Over a dozen, but.
So you have, I mean, because you've got lots of them. So you probably go back to the same people over and over.
I do, yeah. Most of everything that I have, except for probably one or two tattoos, have been done by people who are close to me, friends.
That you trust. There's a trust
coworkers,
level there. And a story, definitely. Right? You're like, oh yeah.
Or it can just be that we're bored at the shop, you know? Yeah.
Hey Joe, what do you want to do? You want a tattoo?
Exactly. We are our own clients as well.
There you go.
Me and Alex gave each other tattoos the other day.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just kind of like today, a little rainy, gloomy day, not much going on, but we want to have fun. We like being there and having fun. We're there all day, so being able to get along and, you know, play some music, you know, draw together. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, talk to us. I mean, I kind of mentioned location. You're up on Roan Street.
Just on Roan.
What's your physical location?
1210 North Roan, Suite 2, right there by Everett's Old Bar and Grill, which I think will be changing to a new place here soon.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Everett passed away. Oh, I'm sorry to say.
So we used to live right down the street.
Okay.
I mean, like right around the corner, basically. Okay. We walked over there and walked through there all the time.
And this all relatively right about the time I'm getting here too. Yeah. So I had met him, awesome guy, great landlord, and then passed away. Sold the building. Yeah, someone bought the building. Okay. Great landlord. I think they got possibly a food truck in there, putting in a brick and mortar.
That'd be cool.
It's all just kind of still working out.
Still kind of in limbo a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay. What are your all's hours? When do you come get a tattoo?
You come get a tattoo Tuesday through Saturday, 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock is when we're there. Sometimes we leave a little early, just depends on the day. So if you're going to get drunk
and get a tattoo, you got to get started early.
You can get started early. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, totally fine. I don't mind. And then if you come Friday, Saturday, bring a six-pack. We'll join you. We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Make an evening of it.
There you go. Yeah. Can you schedule appointments online kind of thing too? Or do
Instagram,
you just roll in?
I'm fine working through my phone. So Instagram comes right to my phone. Email comes right to my phone. From there, especially if you have pictures and reference and ideas ready, it's a good way to communicate and a good way to keep it filed for that client. Yeah. A lot of times if you call the shop, we'll just tell you to come on in anyways.
Okay.
Again, we want to see where you're trying to put it. We want to have that
What do you gotta deal with?
personal touch with you, get you in there, get talking, get you comfortable. And then that way we can give you the best work possible.
What are typically the reasons people get tattoos?
Man,
I know that's a tough question.
personal reasons. I think you mentioned it earlier. Memories. I think memories are really good.
Commemorative kind of thing.
Commemorative.
Yeah. Like we won the World Cup. Let's get a World Cup.
I got my dog's portrait tattooed on me. I love my dog, so just having him with me all the time,
That's cool.
I guess. And it could just be fun. It doesn't have to be serious. Just depends on what you want out of it.
Yeah. Do people use them to maybe disguise some part of their body they don't love and turn it into something beautiful?
Yes, 100%. Scarification cover-up is real. And to try and hide past memories, again, memories, is something that I've worked on with a few clients. And
not married to Earl anymore.
Yeah.
So we're gonna change his name to the new guy. Yeah. Or the new gal or whatever it might be. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so you had a good guy in California that helped you, and then you got a guy here. Where else are you getting inspiration? Or I guess maybe on Instagram and that kind of thing.
A lot of it's going to be online nowadays.
Which is kind of cool, right? I mean, you can look all over the world now.
It gets intimidating.
In seconds, right?
It gets intimidating to the point where now you can't just be mediocre. If you really want to stand out, you really kind of want to put your mark on tattooing, you got to be doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Got to know what you're doing. So having proper apprenticeships, knowing your tools and how to apply a biological matter without much trauma are all just variables in this realm that we live in.
That's the art part of it, right? Because I'm sure you control volume of flow of ink and needle depth and all that fun stuff.
It has an art side, but it is definitely, I compare it to not art.
And
it is
science,
tattooing.
right? I mean,
it's tattooing. And when it comes down to it, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. So it's not always art. You know what I mean?
Those prison ones that people are doing with like a pen or whatever.
Yep. We call them scratchers or kitchen magicians.
Oh, kitchen magicians.
Yeah, working out of the kitchen.
I hadn't heard that. That's great. Let's say, do you have like, if people are worried maybe about the toxicity of this, is there like an organically sourced, better ink? Like if you're listening and you're like thinking about one, this is better ink than bad ink. I mean,
all of our pigments, professional grade, vegan. So it's gone through all the tests. I've personally have seen these age for a few years.
Yeah.
From where I started, I mean, I can only compare it to 7 years.
Right.
Versus what people else have taught me who are using the same materials. I have them in on myself, so I get to see how they age that way. I have 13-year tattoos that still look relatively brand new if I lotion them up a bit,
Yeah, I think, I mean, all your stuff looks great.
So, I mean, to me, a good tattoo is not one that just looks good when it's done, but one that's going to look good 20, 30 years down the line because it's going to be there still.
Yeah.
And to make sure that it's still legible is important.
Any health concerns from getting tattoos over time?
I don't think so.
There's
I've
any
never
studies
experienced
or anything
like that. I've never heard of anything quite like that.
Yeah.
If you get tattoos too rapid, it's going to stress your immune system. You're going to get sick. But as long as you're keeping your taking care of your tattoo, proper aftercare, it heals within a week, 2 weeks, and you're on to the next one.
Sure. And artists are all over the place, but like, let's say you wanted a full sleeve like you've got, right? You're getting there. And what is something like, okay, somebody's thinking about that. What would that cost? Like
asking,
I mean,
it's kind of like asking how much is a car.
Right. Do you want a good car or you want a bad car?
Do you want a good car? Do you want a bad car? Do you want a fast car, slow car, red car, yellow car? We were talking about styles earlier. That plays a big part. What kind of style do you want? That's something that you're going to need to do research on yourself because that's your personal preference. Do you want black and gray? Do you want realism? Do you want traditional, Japanese, script? The longer tattooing goes on, the more styles people are coming up with because, again, it is an artist's realm. So people are constantly trying to innovate and create.
Yeah.
It starts with one. Starts with one tattoo,
Gotcha.
Especially we're a traditional shop, so a lot of it is piece by piece. And I like focusing on one piece at a time because I get to put 2 to 3 hours into that one individual one.
Sure.
Not just lay a big thing out on your arm and just kind of go through it with your pain, try and get you through all of it in time.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you start with like a master plan? Like, all right, we're going for a whole sleeve on Mitch, and he wants, you know, both of his dogs. He wants Marissa on there. He wants the state of Utah and the jazz symbol, and I don't know what else. Hawaii. He spent some time over there. Look at me, Mitch. Some chickens maybe, and maybe like some recording stuff, like a microphone, and definitely not me on there. So, Dolly Parton, right? Yeah. And so so you lay it all out, and like you were saying, you don't want to overstress it. You don't want to do all that in a day or two, you know, probably.
Yeah, you just you draw a master plan, especially if you are wanting that full sleeve. We come up with a master plan for you, and then we just kind of almost take that drawing, cut it down into smaller sections.
Gotcha. But you kind of like weave it together, make sure, okay, well, we're going to put this up here, this that way, this over here.
Finding the right home for it, if you're going piece by piece, I think maximizes how many tattoos you can fit on the arm.
Yeah.
Or me personally, I like Japanese work. It's very easy to cover a large scale of ground with bright, colorful work, dark background, and quite a bit of content in it.
Talk more about Japanese style. What is that?
Oh, it's been around since, I don't know, old times. I don't even know the dates anymore. I like it. That's kind of where American tattooing evolved from. And it's just kind of heavy, dark backgrounds with bright color foregrounds, bold imagery, and it can be extremely detailed. They'll put full kimonos and full tattoos on tattoos of, you know, Japanese warriors, stuff like that. But just the overall process and how they've learned how tattoos age as an image was presented in kind of American traditional route. And that's kind of how we focus on our tattoos, a little bit more bolder, brighter, darker blacks, stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah.
And that just helps the life of the tattoo, you know.
What are some things you can do to keep your tattoo looking good for the long haul?
Skincare, suntan lotion, or your sunscreen. Using SPF 50 is definitely going to help. Tattoos get darker because the skin gets darker typically. So if you're a pale person, probably going to get really bright tattoos and not have to have much skincare. Hydration, healthy diet. You know, your skin shows your diet. It's kind of that organ that, you know, shows all that. So if you're staying hydrated, stuff like that, your tattoos will look great for a long time. Keeping up with lotion, moisturizing.
What's the lifespan? I mean, obviously it's your lifespan, but like for it to continue good. Because we were like, what happens when you get old and you're like, who cares? You know, you're like,
I like saying who
you're
cares.
Like 75.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, you know. But what really is, I mean, I guess, because you see a lot of guys get the barbed wire around their bicep, right? And then you got to keep pumping iron, bro, because your biceps dwindling down. I mean, but you see 90-year-old dudes who are still like jacked if they keep working it. So it's a lot of variables, I'm sure.
Definitely. Yeah. And I mean, the tattoos are going to age with your body. You know, that's just, that is what it is. Like I said earlier, it's a biological matter. And that's something that a good artist should also take into consideration, you know, how their art will age.
Yeah.
You know,
can you retouch them up? Can you refresh them? So if I got one now and I'm 80, 30 years from now, I could be like, all right, I want Brian.
You can kind of go all the way right back through it. You start from scratch again too, you know, just because new colors on top of old colors is just going to cover it. Okay. So it's kind of like a cover up, but you're just going right back over your same lines and refreshing it up. Or you can just wait for them to fade out and you just kind of do what they call a blast over. You just get a cool design and just kind of really bold, put it right on top of it. And usually just a big black imagery,
just kind of
heavy dark shading.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't really get too involved in the colors and the shading. You just blast over them. Kind of a second skin tattoo, so to say.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. A cover-up to me is like something that you take time. And we do cover-ups all the time, kind of just hiding old images. And taking a little bit of thought into it, you can really disguise it and not see it at all, or you can just kind of slap something right over the top and declare it fixed.
What's the what would you say the craziest design you've ever done? Somebody came in and said, "Hey, I want this."
Probably some big back pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, just generally having someone give you the largest canvas on their body, Doesn't even matter the imagery at that point. It's whatever the imagery, you get to do something. It's like a canvas at that point, you know. It's no longer you're working. Typically, I'm working here for hours a day, and now I get to like zoom out and see something that's going to take some time and effort on my part and their part. That to me is just, it's always wild. Doesn't even matter the content.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's cool. I just find it fascinating. It's super cool. What's your favorite thing about it? Being a tattoo artist.
Individuality, self-expression. I work with someone, but overall kind of what I do is how I do it. Which, you know, it's a customer service job too. So you still have to balance how you're dealing with people, making sure they're getting what they want, but also hopefully I get to do it in the style that I want.
Right.
Even though I can dabble in other styles and I can do your design if you're specifically wanting something. Or you can have a little bit of trust and let me get a little creative and give you something a little one-off.
Yeah.
Something you're not going to see everywhere every day.
Yeah.
So just having that, being able to do that when you're able to. And the relationships you get with clients, I think, too, is something really special. I've had some really good friendships come out of this because you end up spending time with them.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're hanging out, and they're probably like, "Hey, let's talk about something while I'm dealing with this."
Yeah,
you pricking me over and over.
Yeah, people often call it therapy.
Yeah.
Because we'll take the time, we'll hear you out. We're there with you. We got to listen. You know, we can't go anywhere. So give us an earful. We're there to listen and kind of talk back as long as we have that focus going. And it ends up being a good relationship. I've had clients for years now that anytime I go back to Washington, they're the first in line to want to get another tattoo and just hang out and see what's new or whatever. And
that's cool.
Me with their lives, you know, it's that personal little touch to it that I think is really special, and
that is, yeah.
And what you're giving them out of it too.
Yeah, that is special. That's cool. How often do you get back home and do tattoos?
Quite often. Couple times a year, 3 times a year. Yeah.
That's cool.
I built up a decent clientele right before I left out of there, and I created a small demand for myself. So
good for you.
I love going back home. They treat me really well, but it's nice being out here, away from it, and redoing it this way, Tennessee's way, you know.
That's cool. I love it, and I think it's cool that we're like a melting pot too, because you're bringing a lot of people from West Coast are coming, and Northerners and Southern. You know, everybody seems to be coming to East Tennessee because it's just an unbelievable place.
I mean, it pulls you in here.
It does. Yeah.
Come by, and you'll totally feel it. You know, it didn't really want to let me go back to Washington, and it still hasn't. So,
where do you? What is 10 years down the road look like for you? You're just going to still be?
I'm still going to be tattooing, 100%. Yeah. I'll do that until I can't lift a machine anymore.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll have taken me a couple other places too. Goal is to just kind of make my mark in this world.
Yeah.
And I've been loving saying that lately because it ties in with tattooing. It ties in with
tattoo.
Just traveling, moving around, going and working with different artists. We go up and do conventions up in Virginia.
That was one of my questions is like, do you guys go to like symposiums and that kind of thing and meet with other folks and get different ideas and techniques and learn how to do different things?
Yep. They're called conventions or expos. Our shop specifically went to Virginia last year, Virginia Beach or Richmond, I'm sorry. And then this year we're doing Norfolk. It kind of just branched off a little bit, kind of the same crew, real old school feel of what old tattooing was like in the 80s and 90s when convention tattooing was real big. But it's great to see all the old legends and work next to them, talk to them, hear some wild stories, and just get together and collaborate, you know?
Yeah. Ever worked on anybody famous that we can talk about?
Someone famous definitely comes to the shop. Yes.
That's cool.
A certain country music star.
Nice.
Definitely comes. Alex is definitely her favorite tattooer.
And that's cool.
Cool to have her come by.
Yeah, that's cool. What's inspiring you lately that you would like to share with us? Anything that you're listening to, reading, learning about, anything?
I'm getting into bonsai trees.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know how or why. It's a really slow process. Yeah, the Karate Kid,
you watched the
Mr.
Karate
Miyagi.
Kid recently, and you're like, I'm going to...
I don't know why. It's just something that takes very minimal work at the time, but you're planning so far down.
Well, and that's what I think about the
10
tattoos.
10 years where I'm going to be. I'm going to be
Yeah.
pruning my bonsai trees.
Nice.
Because that's all you get to do with them.
That's
And
right.
then you wait another 10 years
And another tree.
and just see where how you can shape a
It's a
tree.
lifetime tree.
That's been, and I think it actually translates into tattooing, as weird as it is, because you're shaping it the way you want it to grow and be in the world. So
Yeah. That's super cool.
finding the small ins and outs are cool.
Yeah. All right. You said you love barbecue. What are you and Megan doing on date night? Where are you going to go for dinner?
Date night. Date night, usually we'll go to Cooties. We like going to Cootie Brown's.
It's so good.
And we'll
Over
go to
and
either
over.
campus or the one up
What do you like to get at Cootie Brown's?
chicken wings.
Oh,
Yeah, their whole chicken wings.
like they're
Jerk-
whole, like they're big.
Yeah, their whole wings are great. Every time. They have the
haven't-
best house ranch.
I haven't done that in a while. I love blue cheese on my
Yeah, yeah.
chicken, on my hot wings, but they're Caribbean pizza on wheat.
Oh,
So good. And the Maytag chips.
yes. Yep.
Where are you
Can't
going to
go
go
wrong.
for a burger?
Best burger. Where is the burger place that I go? I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've had a burger.
Oh, man. I need to get you a burger.
I know.
Got to eat burgers.
I think I've just
weekly.
been sneaking through Pals every once in a while.
So good.
Yeah, we don't have a Pals where I'm from, and for a quick drive-through burger. That's a good fresh burger.
It's,
you know,
it's consistently just
I'll go
world
Pals on that
class.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. Ice cream. You guys go out for ice cream at all? Not sweet people?
not so much. We do the Ben and Jerry's at home. We're kind of homebodies a little.
What's your
lately.
favorite Ben and Jerry's?
Tonight dough.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jimmy Fallon's
Yes,
one.
that is a good one. Mm-hmm. I think mine's New York Super Fudge Chunk.
Okay, you know,
I love it. Everybody's like Cherry Garcia.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's all right.
Half bake's a classic too.
Yeah, there's a
I'm a
caramel
dough
one.
fan.
There's-
Any kind of
yeah.
cookie dough, I'm for.
Oh, Ben and Jerry's, thank you. You guys are so awesome. What do you, what are you guys going to do this summer? Anything fun? Headed anywhere?
Got a couple of things planned. Snake Charmer hosts a chopper camp out, motorcycle camp out at Red Banks, Irwin on the Nolichucky. Just a big camper.
When is that happening?
Oh, that is going to be the second week of July.
Okay.
I
So if
wanna
you're
say.
listening, you
Hope I
want to
get
go
that
hang
right.
out with a chopper
Come
camp
out, come out, see some motorcycles.
What do you
some
do
classic
there? You
Vans.
just ride
We
your
just hang
bike?
out. Yeah,
Just
we get a
hang
little
out?
wild.
Sleep out over there?
Yeah,
Camp out?
Just big camp out for the weekend. We have a big raffle that we put up, a couple tattoos, a couple $100 into that. And I know other vendors and mechanics and
Yeah.
builders come out and put a couple raffles into it. And just something that we were brought into with a couple friends, local friends here that started it up. And then other than that, we'll probably just be looking for rivers to go float.
Yeah.
We have
I was
got to
gonna
go
say,
float a
do you
river.
get to go to Meet the Mountains and that kind of thing? That festival we had in the fall?
no,
It's
I
out
haven't
at
done that one.
Wing Deer Park,
Okay.
probably late August, early September, somewhere in
Okay.
there.
You could probably catch us down here at the park Fridays at 5.
Yeah.
If I don't have an
King
appointment, I'll
Commons.
meet up, bring the dogs down, and just hang out for the evening.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
Mm-hmm.
King Commons is just an awesome park, and you can sit at Atlantic Ale House, drink a beer over there, and
Exactly.
just look over the park, and it's great.
I'd say that's the other spot for date night would be Atlantic. We
Yeah.
like just hanging out down there. It's real nice. The food truck,
Have
whatever
you been
food
to the
truck.
Voodoo Chicken place?
Voodoo chicken, yes.
Is it
chicken
good?
and waffles? Mm-hmm. And I'm
love
obsessed
chicken and
with chicken and waffles.
Have you been to the Maple Street and gotten their chicken and waffles?
That's
Oh,
next day after date night. Yeah, Monday mornings at Maple Street every week.
so
Yeah.
good. Ken Rock, you do such a good job at Maple Street. I'm excited. What just gets you just like, oh, I'm fired up. I want to just like, let's go do some stuff.
Tattooing.
Yeah,
Tattooing,
I love
man.
it.
Yeah, a good solid
So when you've
tattoo.
got your passion, you live in that, and that's your daily gig. It's like you're not even working really.
No, I don't feel like I go to work. No.
Isn't
not
that
at all.
cool?
Yeah. I get paid to do what I love. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, a good fun tattoo, a good session where the client's happy, you're happy, everything works out.
Everybody wins.
Nothing better than, yeah. Time flies while you're tattooing too. I don't even realize anything else that's
You're like,
going
that
on.
was 3 hours? What?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's super cool. All right. I've learned a ton.
Good.
Anything else that I didn't ask you that you're like, hey, let's talk about this?
No, not so much. We don't really have any
We kind of
events, but-
covered a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, be on the lookout for a couple of events throughout the summer that we'll
Okay.
post on the shop page. We're going to host a couple barbecues.
How can people connect with you directly if they're like, this
Me
dude
directly?
sounds awesome, I want to get a tattoo?
You can hit me up on my Instagram, shoot me a DM, go through my
What's
which
your
has my
Instagram
email.
handle?
Instagram handle is at tattoosby.brian. Real simple, Brian. Takes you to my profile. Shoot me a friend request. It comes right through my inbox. Shoot me an email. Or just come on into the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it all starts.
That's
where the magic happens.
Yeah, I'll give a personal testimony. This guy is just super sweet. And like, I enjoy hanging out with them. I love getting to know you all during
Thank you. Likewise.
We get to be friends like when we're buying a house with somebody, and I love it.
Totally.
And then like you guys disappear, and unfortunately, we don't connect again for a little while. And then so when I get to see my old friends, it brings joy to my heart. So
That's how
thank
it
you.
feels tattooing. When they come back for their
Right.
second tattoo,
Yeah.
it's like selling a second house, I'm sure. You know?
Yes, like you're like, oh great, look at you guys, you got 3 kids now. No wonder you need to move. Your house is too small. Yeah, it's fun.
Yes.
It's fun. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Colin.
Great seeing you again. Give your
Likewise.
wife a hug.
Will do.
And if you guys want a insider scoop, maybe she'll bring. So your wife works for Trader Joe's over in Asheville.
Yeah, she's out in Trader Joe's working there. She'll bring
If you
bring some
guys,
groceries back
if you're
for some
listening and you're
people.
like, hey, I love Trader Joe's, I don't like driving over the mountain. We know somebody who does it
Well,
almost every day.
she'll bring you back your groceries cold. We got
Yeah.
a couple cold bags, and if you hit her up, she'll take a shopping list for you back.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a small like DoorDash fee, right?
Yeah, real small fee.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, Trader Joe's, until they get here, we got you hooked up. You heard it here. Special.
Bring
special.
Trader Joe's to Johnson City too, though. 'cause
We need to start
We need
that.
one here.
Yeah. There was a page on Facebook for a long time about bring Trader Joe's to Johnson City, but they haven't done it yet.
They will.
Obviously, but they will. They will. I think they would kill it. Okay, cool. Well, thank you again.
Thanks, Colin.
Till next time, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group. If you want to move here and meet my friend Brian and get a tattoo that's going to just bless you and be awesome on your body for the rest of your life, I would love to connect you with him. So reach out to me. You can find me on the show notes. You can reach out if you want to buy a house or move to Johnson City and be a part of our community. We would love to have you, unless you're a jerk and then you just move somewhere else. And then if you're looking to build wealth in real estate, if you guys want to invest in real estate in the future, Brian, I'd love to help you do that. And
We are down.
We will handle property management. We do it all. So
Yeah, we are
it'll be a
down.
lot of fun. So we can look forward to doing that together too. So until next time, have a great spring and thanks for listening.